Ankrah, and I bring you everything you need to know in the world of business Mondays to Thursdays at 12:30. Let's have lunch together. The Afternoon Business Review, where Ghana's Business Day gets explained.
The banking and financial services sector directly contributes approximately 3.729% to Ghana's total gross domestic product (GDP), depending on the specific metrics measured. Broader banking sector assets represent a much larger share, having grown to 647.25 billion cedis, which is equivalent to roughly 45.1% of the national GDP. Total banking sector assets are valued at 464.25 billion cedis, which is also equivalent to 45.1% of the GDP. Now, commercial bank loans and credits provided directly to the private sector typically hover between 8% and 16% of the GDP, acting as a critical catalyst for trade, manufacturing, and SME growth. So ideally, the banking and financial sectors provide enormous benefit to Ghana's economy and to the broader GDP. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Afternoon Business Review, where we tell you what moves markets and money.
The stock market sustained its up.
So my name is Nana Juman Prempe. This is how we start today's edition of the Afternoon Business Review here on Class 91.3 FM. Sitting in for your regular host, Nana Oye Ankrah. Let's start with the commodities market and let's check how much crude oil, gold, and cocoa is being pegged on the international market. For crude oil, it is selling at $74 per barrel. Gold is being pegged at $4,058 $1,000 per ounce, and cocoa is priced at $5,598 per metric ton. So for crude oil, gold, and cocoa, once again, crude oil is selling at $74 per barrel, gold is being pegged at $4,058 per ounce, and cocoa is priced at $5,598 per metric ton. Also, let's check the currency market from the Bank of Ghana this afternoon. The dollar is selling at 11 cedis 48 pesos and is buying at 11 cedis 47 pesos. The pound is going for 15 cedis 41 pesos and is buying at 15 cedis 39 pesos. The euro is going for 13 cedis 13 pesos and is buying at 13 cedis 12 pesos. Please note these rates could be slightly different at the various forex bureau and banks. And as we do say always here on the show, don't go to the black market, neither should you go to Accra, to Circle, or Airport. Just go to a licensed forex bureau or any commercial bank. It's a perfect time to check our stock, and Caitlin Dazi of Databank is on standby.
The stock market sustained its upward trajectory as 6 gainers outweighed a lone laggard. The top gainers were intravenous infusions, HORDS, and CPC, while ETI declined. Driven by the price moves, the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index surged to a year-to-date gain of 68.53%, while the Databank Stock Index surged to a year-to-date return of 87.87%. MTN Ghana and Casapreco traded the most, accounting for 85.1% of the market turnover after trading 3.66 million shares over 27 counters. For Databank Research, Caitlin Dazi.
In the studios of Class 91.3 FM, my name is Nana Juman Prempe, and this is the Afternoon Business Review. And it's now time for us to check out stories shaping both the local and international economies. And let's start from Ghana, as the government has, in its latest auction, exceeded its treasury bill target by some 77%. According to auction results by the Bank of Ghana, most of the investors bought the 364-day bill because of the attractive interest rate. However, the government will have to pay more to service the bill at maturity. The following report has more.
The Treasury accepted 7.38 billion Ghana cedis of bids received, exceeding its financing targets by 1.71 billion Ghana cedis as it took up a larger share of investor demand. The 364-day Treasury bill continued to dominate investor interest, attracting 5.65 billion Ghana cedis in bids. Of that amount, the government accepted 4.53 billion Ghana cedis, accounting for the largest share of the funds raised. The 91-day bill recorded bids worth 2.98 billion Ghana cedis, with 1.80 billion Ghana cedis accepted. Meanwhile, investors tendered 1.40 billion Ghana cedis for the 182-day bill, of which the Treasury accepted 1.06 billion Ghana cedis. The latest auction marks a sharp improvement from the previous sales, when investors submitted 4.16 billion Ghana cedis in bids. The surge in subscription points to renewed investor confidence in government securities despite elevated interest rates. Looking ahead, the government plans to raise 7.36 billion Ghana cedis through tender 2016 to provide its short-term financing needs.
So that was your News X report. On international front, the Nigerian Naira experienced a demanding week at the official foreign exchange window, extending its losses to close at its weakest weekly level against the United States dollar, despite recent regulatory interventions by the Central Bank of Nigeria. According to official data released by the CBN, the local currency closed the trading week on Friday, that's 10th of July 2026, at 1,381.70 naira to a dollar. This marks a 0.85% week-on-week depreciation, representing a 11.70 naira drop compared to the 1,307.70 naira per dollar, or to a dollar closing rate recorded the previous Friday of 3rd July 2026 in Nigeria. The local currency faced persistent pressure from the market forces, closing lower on 4 of the 5 available trading days. The week started with a marginal slip on Monday, 6th July, as the Naira fell by 1 Naira to close at 1,371 Naira to a dollar. Selling pressure accelerated on Tuesday, 7th July, dragging the currency down by another 8 Naira to end the day at 1,379 Naira to a dollar. So these are stories shaping both the local and international economies. And now, time check is 41 minutes past the hour 12, and you're still listening to the Afternoon Business Review here on Class 91.3 FM with me, Nana German Prime. It's now time for us to move into our big conversation for today. So, the Ghana Association of Banks have reacted or has reacted to conduct of the Member of Parliament for Okaikwe North constituency towards a member bank of the Ghana Association of Banks. So last Friday, as part of the National Cleaning Day, news broke with videos circulating on social media involving the Member of Parliament for Okaikwe North constituency, Theresa Ladi Awini, and the Managing Director of Calbank PLC in the constituency over the bank's move to not participate or not participating in the exercise directed by President John Mahama. However, today, the Ghana Association of Banks has in a statement expressed its dissatisfaction to the MP's conduct. So let me run you through the statement by the Ghana Association of Banks, and we are also scheduled to speak with the CEO, John Ewa, as and when we get him, we'll put him on the line. But this is the statement from the Ghana Association of Banks. And so, in a statement, it says, public statement on the conduct of the Member of Parliament for Okaikwe North constituency as a member bank of the Ghana Association of Banks. So, the Ghana Association of Banks has taken actually, they've reacted to the incident. So, they raised concerns about the Member of Parliament's conduct towards the bank. So today, as part of our big conversation, we are having a conversation with the CEO of the Ghana Association of Banks, John Iwa. So we want to find out what prompted the association to issue the statement today, and also we know banks are classified as essential entities, and in the video we saw the managing director for Cal Bank PLC saying that they had some cash they had to give out to some customers for urgent needs, so they were trying to work within the hours and trying to raise the money or release these funds for the customers so that they can serve their needs, and they join the national assignment, I should say. So we are finding out from the Ghana Association of Banks, since they've released a statement on this, what prompted that decision to release the statement, and also if a bank can face any legal or regulatory consequences for choosing not to participate in a voluntary public exercise. We have the CEO, John Iwa, on the line. Hello, Mr. Iwa. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us.
Hello, good afternoon.
Right. So, first off, we've discussed the statement. You've read excerpts of it. We want to know what prompted the association to issue the statement.
Yeah, thank you very much. We monitored one or two incidents last Friday and Saturday during the two-day national cleanup exercise, which was more or less directed by the President of the Republic. As a community, we had engagements and we 100% supported the initiative. In some of the branches, even on social media, you would find that bank branches were giving water to the people who were undertaking the cleanup exercise. What we sought to clarify through the statement is an attempt by a section of the media to use this as a forum for grandstanding, where they want to more or less trample on banks in order to create a certain kind of popularity around their persons or their political persuasions. And as banks, we 100% denounce that, and we will not tolerate any attempt to impugn that or to attack our banks or our branches, our staff in any way possible. We are a law-abiding sector. We are about the number one sector in terms of tax payment. And during this exercise, we 100% participated. We actually asked our member banks to ensure that while they open their branches, they should make sure that the area around their branches, they participate in the cleanup exercise. During the COVID pandemic, banks were designated as critical and essential service providers. As far as we are aware, that status has not changed. And the statement that was issued by the local government ministry clearly stated that essential service providers could open their businesses and ensure that their area of operations are clean. And that is exactly what banks were doing. So we really did not understand why the member of parliament took upon herself to forcibly enter a bank branch manager's office and insinuate, insulting, and creating panic within the banking arena. It is abhorrent, and we 100% condemn that act. That came from the honorable minister. We 100% disagree with attacks and the use of language, bad language and temperament that was exercised at that time. We know that this is not going to be the last exercise of cleanup or any kind of national discourse that all of us have to rally behind. And that is why we want to issue this statement, so those who potentially could be armed because of the conduct of the minister, of the parliamentarian, to, maybe perpetrate acts that can further put bank staff under significant risk. That is why we have issued that statement, and we believe that it should end everything. And as banks, we are committed to the cause that, as a country, we've all dedicated to cleaning our environment, making sure that our gutters and areas of operations are clean.
Right. So, in cases like this, we know banks, hospitals, they're being classified as essential entities. How do banks decide whether to participate in such initiatives like the National Cleaning Day?
Yeah, we are citizens. Above all, the floods that happened in Accra and other parts of the country, um, nobody was immune from it. If you were not directly affected, you know somebody who was directly affected. Our customers, the businesses that we also interact with, were also affected. There are banks, there are businesses and individuals that banks have financed. The cars that you saw floating on the floods were some of them were vehicles that the banks had provided financing for. So we are not more or less sitting in glass houses. We are part of the system, and that is why we made it upon ourselves, or we agreed upon ourselves to participate. Though we have been classified as essential service providers, we still participated in the cleanup exercise. We cannot close the shop because even the people cleaning up, they will need access to finance. If they have to buy something, somebody may want to go to the branch. So it is important that we respect the law, and we also, in doing this kind of public exercise, we do not kind of use it to perpetrate personal interest in manners of more or less grandstanding, as though we are the only ones who care about the environment. Banks contribute a lot to the economic development of the country. And as I said before, when it comes to taxes, we are about the best industry or the number one industry on tax payments. So our taxes must work for us. In addition to that, when it comes to issues of national importance, such as a cleanup exercise, which has been mandated by the president of the country, we have no option than to participate. So the bank staff participated. And if you monitor on social media, you will see that some of the banks were even posting pictures of their staff or the branch staff and participating in the cleanup. So what the member of parliament did was very out of the ordinary, unwarranted, and completely unnecessary for her to have gone to a branch with customers transacting with cameras. People are in bank branch and you are going there with private cameras and you are showing everything on public media, which we think is very, very unfortunate and unacceptable and unbecoming of a member of parliament.
Right, Mr. Ewa, on a larger scale, is there a need for clearer protocols governing interactions between public officials and private businesses, particularly, let's say,
Yeah,
private banks?
so though we have so been designated as essential service providers, on Thursday, we had a meeting with the Regional Coordinating Council Director. We went to the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council. We had meeting with them, and they 100% gave us the all clear and said, oh, banks can open, but we are going to issue a statement. That is a statement we got from them. And that statement came and clearly said that excludes essential service providers and medical service providers. So on what basis was the minister acting? Was it that not the minister, the member of parliament, was it that the member of parliament did not read the statement?
One will also argue that news broke out that banks can work from 12 p.m. during the day, and it looks like the incident happened before 12 p.m.
Nobody said banks can work from 12 p.m. I'm the one who issued the, should I say, the advisory note to the banks after our meeting with the Regional Coordinating Council. And we got the comfort from them that besides the law that classifies banks as essential service providers, we still took it upon ourselves to engage, to understand whether we have to close or not to close. And we were told that you can keep your shops open. Mm-hmm. Just make sure the surroundings around your branch, you contribute towards the cleaning of those surroundings. So there was no directive, there was no letter, there was no public statement that asked banks to close and open after 12 p.m. There was nothing such. as such.
Right. We also shared the video on socials, and some comments came in. And one comment, I would like to keep the person's name out of this conversation, said that for the member of parliament to go all out like that, it would have been prudent or wise for the MP to either use regulatory laws or legal means to get the bank to come on board. Do you subscribe to that rather than coming all out shouting and making all the noise with the video?
Yeah, of course, anything that has a semblance of sanity is something we call for. The member of parliament knows our number. He knows that we are a very organized business concern, and therefore we have an association that they could contact for any reason if she was not sure. There were several avenues that could have been explored. The part, I'm not against her trying to get everybody in the branch to even come out to clean, but to enter the bank branch and force your way to the manager's office with cameras. I mean, it's completely uncalled for. Can you imagine if you were in the bank branch making cash deposits and there are public cameras on you? I mean,
You'd be
it is against
uncomfortable.
all kind of tenets of good behavior, in my view. I think it's in the spur of the moment, maybe she got carried away, but her conduct was very unparliamentary, completely unparliamentary, and unbecoming of a member of parliament. And as a member or as a citizen who lives in her constituency, I live in Okakwe North constituency.
Oh, okay.
For her to behave in that manner, I find it very unpalatable and completely unacceptable. And I say that in no uncertain terms.
But could incidents like this affect investor confidence within Ghana's banking sector in any way?
Oh, I mean, I think this was just an isolated incident. We had one or two other incidents, one in Cape Coast, another one in Kumasi. They were a bit low key because the people involved were not of the stature of a member of a parliament, and therefore that did not get a lot of currency. I do not think this is sufficient for any investor to begin having a second look at banks in Ghana. But I think we just have to conduct ourselves in the best possible way going forward, because this cleanup exercise is not going to be the last we are going to see, so that next time when we are going through a national program such as this, we are minded. And if we are not sure, we call the right people to understand exactly what steps we have to take.
Well, finally, before I let go of you, Mr. Hua, and in your statement, you said that GBA respectively calls for a more measured and constructive engagement with member banks on matters of public interest and stand ready for further dialogue. Also, after the whole incident, we also saw videos of the said bank, coming all out, participating in the exercise, also making donations to help achieve the president's goal in at least keeping our environment clean, and also brought a whole lot of conversation on social media. Do you think it's time for the member of parliament to reach out to the bank again to sort of smoothing things which got heated last Friday?
We believe that this statement should end it. I'm quite positive that it will definitely get to her. And in my view, we do not think that there is any need for further engagement on this. It's very clear. We are a very collaborative society. And cleanup, as I said before, we went to the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council's office to engage. Because that is, as level-headed citizens, that is what we are supposed to do. Though there is this thing backing us, we still went ahead to have engagement, to have more or less a firm commitment that we are able to operate. So we do not think that the member of parliament's conduct should be anything that should call for meetings upon meetings on anything. We have written a very simple statement, English language, which we believe if it gets to her, she should be able to read through and understand exactly where we are coming from. It's non-confrontational, but we will not tolerate any further attempts at disparaging bank staff using bad language on our staff and telling our staff that I have called the managing director and told him a peace of mind. That is very unparliamentary, and people should not learn to control themselves when there's a bit of heat on them.
Very well. Thanks for your time and thanks for speaking with us on the Afternoon Business Review. You had the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Association of Banks, John Ewa, commenting on the Member of Parliament for Okankwe North, Theresa Ladi Awini, altercation with the Managing Director of CalBank PLC within her constituency, which happened last Friday as part of the first day of the National Cleaning Day. So that's how we draw the curtains today on the Afternoon Business Review here on Class 91.3 FM with me, Nana Joman Prempe, starting for your regular host, Oye Walton Ankrah. Catch us same time tomorrow from 12:30 to 1 p.m. The dial is Class 91.3 FM. The show is the Afternoon Business Review. My name has been Nana Joman Prempe. For more news, visit classfmonline.com. As usual, we say you don't need a dictionary to understand business news. Hello, good afternoon, and have an amazing day.